You may be in holiday in Rio de Janeiro or Sao Paulo and you want to organize a small trip for the weekend. Some people told you that you have to visit Ilha Grande. That's the perfect match for it. You just go there for a weekend and there's plenty of activities. Boat trip, hikes and more. Some others may have told you the same thing about Paraty, an old colonial city with vibrant life, with boat activity, with hikes, waterfalls. Now you're kinda stuck. Which place should you choose? Well, I went to both of those destinations just for you. I've done various activities there and I can help you decide between Paraty and Ilha Grande if it's the best for you. In this video, I will break down the main point that you need to consider for your travel. The transportation, the weather, the vibe of the place, the activities, the costs, and a few other things. Both are amazing destinations. You're already gonna make a good choice whether you're going to Paraty or Ilha Grande. My goal is to help you to understand what you can expect from each places. Alright, so let's compare. Where are you gonna go? Paraty or Ilha Grande? Let's go. My name is Hugo. Thank you very much for watching this video. And if you're not yet subscribed, please do so. It's very important for me and the channel. Okay, so what are the size of those two places? Ilha Grande and Paraty has kinda different vibe. If we consider the numbers, Paraty is a true city, while Ilha Grande is more like a village. When I say Ilha Grande, I'm referring to the main city, Ablão. Ablão is the main city of Ilha Grande, that's where there's 80% of the people. And the amount of people of the islands, it's something like 5,000 people. So it's very not big. All the other area where it's habited, it's very, very small, with maybe 2 streets maximum, or even only the beachfront side with hostels and houses there. Well, you'll see Ablão is not big either. It's 2 long horizontal streets with many vertical ones. And in total, it's about 5,000 people that live on this island. And maybe 80% of those 5,000 live in Ablão, all the rest in those small houses, villages. And when it's peak season, so from December to February, it's 15,000 people on the island. So still not a huge number, but quite enough to feel that there's some lifestyles happening during this peak season. For Paraty, the low season, it's about 45,000 people living there. And when it's peak season, this number passed to 100,000 people living there. So definitely not the same size, right? In Paraty, you have many shops about everything, just like in a big city, you know? While in Ilha Grande, the number and the variety of shops is very limited. There's not so many shops there. Okay, so what's the vibe at Ilha Grande? What's the vibe in Paraty? The vibe of each place is also different. Well, of course, we're still in Brazil, so everything is pure joy. But there is some differences. For example, the age. In Ilha Grande, you see more people that are younger, like friends group going there. While in Paraty, you see more stable adults, you know, like couples. And I'm talking as much as the tourists as the people working and living there. It's just this different vibe of generations there. And also because Paraty is a big city, you see this classical kind of hierarchy in a big city with homeless people and riches differences that you don't see at Ilha Grande. Well, it's the way I've perceived it. In Paraty, it happens more than once that some people came to ask me some cigarettes or a little bit of money, while this never happened at Ilha Grande. This is just kind of natural to see that in the big cities rather than in the small villages, I would say. So that's also a part of the trip. If you go to Paraty, you may see this whole difference that I'm just saying about. Okay, now interesting question. How to reach each location? Well, on that point, you already gonna know at Ilha Grande, this is an island, you're gonna have to take the boat. So we'll talk about that just a little bit after. First, Paraty is more easier. So for Paraty, it's quite straightforward. From Rio, Sao Paulo, and the other cities all around, you have normally buses that will take you there directly. For example, in Rio, you have, I think, 4 to 5 buses daily that goes or will stop at least to Paraty. So it's pretty easy to go there. When it's come to Ilha Grande, it's a bit more tricky because you have different options, but basically it will be a bus to go to a port, and after you have to take a boat. I'll take Rio as the starting point, but it also works for Sao Paulo. So from Rio, you can take a bus to land on one of those 3 cities, Angra dos Reis, Manguaratiba, or Concession de Jacaré. That's from one of those three cities that will have either a speedboat or ferries to take you to Abrão, the main city of Ilha Grande. And it's from Angra dos Reis and Mangualatiba that you have more options on the ferries and speedboats. Normally, the buses will arrive just a bit earlier, the ferries go to Ilha Grande, or that the speedboats will depart from these ports. So all those arrangements from the bus arriving and after the ferries leaving is well engineered by the companies. They did it on purpose, so they will gather more people for the ferries. And also when you go back, you will have the ferries and just after a bus to go back to the city you went from, Sao Paulo, Rio. The speedboat take around 20 minutes to reach Abrão city. And when we talk about the ferries, it's a bit more longer, it's something like an hour and a half. So to resume that, Paraty is kind of half a day to travel from door to door using a bus. While for Ilha Grande, you can count more like a whole day of traveling because you have a bus, sometimes you wait a little bit, you have the ferries, and after you arrive at Ilha Grande. And the buses from Rio to go to one of those three ports depends, but it's around 2 hours something. While the bus to go from Rio to Paraty, it's something like 3 hours and a half. For those who already went to Paraty or Ilha Grande, do you agree with what I've said or did you find the place different? If so, just say a comment. I'm quite interested about what you thought about either Ilha Grande or Paraty. So how about the weather? Both destinations have tropical climate with rainy seasons officially from December to March, but also the weather is generally super warm the whole year. I went to Paraty and Ilha Grande many times around February and March. During those times when I went to Paraty, the weather were a bit more cloudy, a bit rainy, you did not know if it would be sunny to do activities there. While on Ilha Grande, you either have clouds and you know that the weather is not going to be that great, or it's very, very sunny. Even though those two places are very close by, you have one island and the other one it's on the land. But I would advise you to avoid travel there during March. It's a common knowledge. Everyone says that in March it rains a lot, in Paraty as well as in Ilha Grande. Better to go there before March, so during the peak season you will have a lot of people around you to do activities, in January, in February, or later, and it will be the low season with fewer people around you at the restaurants, etc. So now what you can do there. Both places have more or less the same activities. You can go to the beach, you can do some boat tour activity, you can go to the bar, but sometimes it's better to go to Paraty for that or to Ilha Grande for the other. So for example, for the best beach, it will be in Ilha Grande. In Paraty you have some, but it's not famous for that. What's famous for Paraty is for its historical culture there. You have a whole colonial city that is absolutely beautiful. The city center, the historical center, it's really something to visit in Paraty. And also that's why there's so many people coming there, because it has some really impressive vibe of this old time. But it's also a little bit hard when you think about it and you know the history of Brazil. On both places, I've done some boat tour activity and they are a bit different. Well, I did various ones to differ a little bit. In Paraty, I took a big Escuna tour and we went very far from Paraty. And at Ilha Grande, I did a speedboat tour where I've seen also amazing places, but it was around the island. So it was different, but in terms of sensation, both were equivalent. On hikes also, Paraty and Ilha Grande is very next to jungles and mountains or hills. So you have very various hikes that you can do there. I think I've done better hikes at Ilha Grande because I went to the Pico do Papagaio. It was extremely beautiful. I've done another video talking about these whole hikes that you can check in the corner. I did also some in Paraty where I went to a waterfalls. It was quite cool, but it was a little bit raining and not the best day to do that. I've done also a video about it that you can check up there. I'd say Paraty has more to offer for inside activities. It has many shops, bookstores, coffee places, museums, libraries that are in the city center, in the historical center. So that's something that you will do if you go there to visit the places. While Ilha Grande, it's more outdoors activities. You don't have all those coffees, museums, libraries there. So it's more hikes, beaches, boat tour that is more present at Ilha Grande than in Paraty. Okay, and so now, what's the price when you go to Ilha Grande or when you go to Paraty? On the overall, I would say Ilha Grande is more budget-friendly than Paraty. But don't worry, on both places, you will find the right accommodation for your budget. You will have, on both places, pousadas, hostels, fancy Airbnbs, luxury hotel. But in Paraty, let's say it's more rich than Ilha Grande. So you will have more opportunities for fancy Airbnbs, for hotels that will take care of you, while in Ilha Grande it's more pousadas on your own and you do your stuff. And to give you an example, in Paraty you have 4 festivals that happens every year. You have a book festival, a cachaça festival, a divino festival, a jazz festival. Every year you have more people that comes to Paraty, and of course if there is more people that comes, there's less accommodations for everyone and the price is rising up. Okay, so now is the conclusion. And let's sum up a little bit everything we said about Paraty and Ilha Grande. So the price that we just talked about. Paraty is generally a little bit more expensive, especially during festivals as there's more people in the city. Ilha Grande is a little bit more budget friendly, even though you can still find pretty fancy hostels, restaurants and activities. So about the activities, in Paraty you can do historical sightseeing, like museums, going to the libraries, coffee shops. You also have boat tour activities, some hikes, and you can see some waterfalls. And the activity at Ilha Grande, it will be mainly outdoors, boat tour activity, beach activity, hiking, snorkeling, and sightseeing in the nature. About the weather, well, I would avoid to not go in March, but to go a little bit before if you want to be there during the peak season, or later if you want to be there with less people around you. About the people on the city, both destinations are welcoming tourists. Paraty has a mix of locals and internationals visiting the city because of those festivals, while Ilha Grande attracts more nature lovers and travelers like road trip backpackers. About the accessibility, Paraty is way easier to access than Ilha Grande. And about this whole vibe and atmosphere of the place, Paraty is more historical city with kind of a fancy, chill place, while at Ilha Grande it's more relaxed, eco-friendly, and all that vibe around it. So to sum up, I would say choose Paraty if you are interested in history and cultures and if you want more options about everything. And choose Ilha Grande if you're more a nature lover and looking for a more relaxed environment. So that's it for this video. Thank you very much for watching till the end. Subscribe to the channel, it really helps me to continue those videos. Thank you very much and see you in the next one. Ciao, ciao.